Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, episode number 89. My name is Glenn Gers, and I am here to write a pilot script for an hour-long TV drama series and let you look over my shoulder as I do it to share my screen and try to demystify the writing process. It is not the only process. It is not the best process. It's just the way I figured out how to do it in my 25 years working in the TV and movie business. And so I thought I would let you see, with all the mess and sloppiness that comes with it, how I do it, just so that you can get a sense of how it gets done, how somebody gets it from a rough draft to an outline, rough notes to an outline to a rough draft, which is where we are now, and then to a polished, finished-ish draft. So that's what we are going to do here. I am here doing it every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. While I am here, I am answering questions as we go from anybody who's watching live. For instance, Ellen, hello, Ellen, how are you doing? And 99 Precinct, hello, all of you. If you are watching this in a recorded format on the YouTube channel, please don't feel left out. You can still ask questions. You just go to writingforscreens.com. And you can click on the Contact Me button on just about any page, and it will open up a little form where you can write an email, and I will get it directly and try to answer you there or here. If for some reason you hate websites and emails and things, you can just ask a question here in the comments of this or any video on my channel. That will go directly to me also, and I will try to answer. Oh, look. Folks are here. Hi, Anthony. Thank you for being here. I'm here, and it's great to see you. Hey, Natasha, how you doing? And Andrea, how are you going? Oh, gosh, everybody's here. Yeah, I've been away for almost a week because of the holiday season here in the United States of America. But I am back. I am here. I am working, and it is time to get going. Because I want to get this script done. I think it's going to be so cool when this thing is done. So let us take a look at where we left off, because we left off in the middle of a scene. So let's look at that scene. Boom. Okay. So this is I was just putting down some basic stuff. I can already see that it's going to need some reworking. Madeline is too at ease, in my opinion, which is really the only opinion that matters because I'm writing it. And that's an important thing to remember. When you are writing your first draft, you are the deciding vote. You get to say, I like it this way and not that way. So what's happening here is that they are expressing their discomfort, which is part of the main point. They are like each other and they do not want to part, but everything in this strange, awkward situation is trying to push them apart. I often write the point of the scene into the outline so that I can just, like, if I've stepped away for a week, I can come back and say, what was this about? What's going on? What do I have to do? This is it. These things are the things we got to get in here today. All right. Let's cut that out. Obviously. Okay, so now this is where we are. It is not something she does a lot. So I'm going to just... Okay. We've already got this. We are here. What I'm doing is just sort of getting my head back into where the scene was. Does he have to leave? Does she? This is an important thing. Okay, so get rid of all this stuff. Has to come to it was good. All right. Okay. So this is where we got to. she had just said this is not something I do a lot. Look, I don't do this kind of thing, cooking. This is good. In my dead ex-husband's house. Just a little reminder. Because what I wanted to get to here was that he does do it a lot. You know what? I'm going to break this up a little. That's what I'm going to do. Making love on the first... Yeah, that was not a date. Yeah. That was not a date. No. Nope. Okay, you're such a cheerleader for me. Thank you. All right. If your dream is to write something, then that is, I guarantee I can help you make that come true. All other dreams, iffy. Dreams are a complicated thing, but the dream of actually creating something, that is within your control. That is something you can do. Okay. Thank you, guys. This is nice. Okay. All right, let me see. How could a spam risk call? Spam risk is calling me. All right. So it's like, no. Okay, so yeah, what I'm trying to do is get. Sometimes when you have characters who are unable or unwilling to talk about something, you need to put it into the stage directions, because the fact is often people cannot articulate their thoughts or feelings, but you need the reader and the players to know what it is. And there is nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with talking about what they're thinking, because the people who are playing it can play that. So, I don't like wild, but I'm gonna put it in parentheses so I remember to try and fix it. Okay. That was not it. Nope. Okay, I do. Make love. He doesn't take those words seriously, so I'm putting it in quotes. Make love whenever. I do make love if. I do make love if it works out that way. Right away. I don't have to. Okay, so I do make love right away if it works out that way. Really? Yeah, I mean, I don't have to. Yeah, that's a sayable thing. That's a nice beat. This is a little patchy, but sometimes you over-describe it. That's okay. Is it true that each page of a screenplay represents a minute? Yes. 34 minutes, that's not bad. Okay, here's the deal with minutes. This is a good question. Let us talk. Let us discuss minutes and pages. The deal is roughly, yes. Now, obviously, a page like this one with dialogue, it probably will take much less than a minute. On the other hand, a page with a lot of motion and distraction action could easily have 3 minutes on a page. It's an estimate, but so many scripts have been written and filmed that they have a pretty good sense that a minute a page is fair. The basic reason for that is not to say actual minutes per page, but to say a 90 page script will probably be around 90 to 100 minutes. And that 120 is about as long as you want to go for a movie that's supposed to be 2 hours. So the answer is you don't have to worry that things are exactly timing out that way. There are actual production managers who can look at a script and really time it out. But yes, a page a minute, absolutely. Which is why the fact that we are on page 62 of a script that probably should be less than 60 pages, and I'm not even into the third act yet, means I'm going to be doing some cutting. But right now I'm just trying to spill it all. You don't have to. All right. That's a better line. You know what? I don't need all this. All right. That's it. Yeah. That's much. This is better. Yeah. Okay. Dirty. Not as romantic. Yeah, that's better. Less romantic. Yeah. Oh, no. All right. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to. Okay. Icky. Icky. Oh, God. No, I didn't mean to. It wasn't like I. Now I feel. Oh, God, no, I didn't mean. It wasn't like I was just trying to. It was like a. I was just trying to put you at your ease, or just trying to get to know you. What I was just trying to get to know you, try to relax you, try to take you off the hook. No, it wasn't so. Wasn't so. Tell you it wasn't so. Just trying to tell you it wasn't so. Don't even. Please don't continue the sentence. No. It was great. Please don't finish that sentence. No. It was great. No, it wasn't so terrible to you. So terrible that you it wasn't so terrible that you did it. It happens. It happens. With a stranger. Not to me. In my dead house. In my dead ex-husband's crime scene house. That's good. See, he's trying to reassure. No, it was great. It wasn't so terrible that you did it. It happens. In my dead ex-husband's crime scene house. We both needed to connect. Connect. Well, we did. That's pretty good. All right. Let's see. Okay. You know, I think this is playable. It's tricky because when you have dialogue like this where people are trying to communicate, but they're not necessarily saying, they're not laying out their points because they're not sure of how to relate to this person that they have strong feelings about. You get these weird, awkward bits, but actually, like actors would be able to figure out how to play this. Yes, indeed. Except he gets honest. He gets really cool. Like he's more able to forgive them than she is. Yeah. See, now they've done it. See, this is where they actually connect. He's saying like we need to forgive ourselves, and she does, and that's the end of a beat. Sometimes you just know that like that's something has now happened. When you're writing dialogue, you need to see when a section of the dialogue has completed itself. When they were trying to reach out to each other and they got confused. They were afraid that they were saying different things, or that they weren't. They were stepping out too far onto a limb, and then they managed to connect. And so that's the end of a beat. And so therefore, let me see what we've got here in the outline. Okay. All right. So now we know that the night was enjoyable for both. Okay. And it was good. This is all out of the outline. We got that. So this is leading to his... All right. So you do this, Les. No, that's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant. I meant when it does happen, it is to be honest, to be... Wait, what's that phrase? No, there's like a phrase. Hi, Matthew. There's a phrase, full disclosure, which is full disclosure. That's a journalist kind of thing. Which is full disclosure. When it does happen, which full disclosure is not a lot lately. Not a lot anymore. Not really a lot. Not really a lot. I meant when it does. No, that's not what I... No, that's not what I meant. I meant when it does happen, which is not really... Which, full disclosure, is not really a lot anymore. It tends to start fast and then blow up horribly. Tends to start fast and then blow up horribly right away. And blow up horribly pretty quick. And blow up horribly pretty quick. maybe you should start a little slower. Look for warning signs. Look for, fuses, lit fuses. Lit fuses ticking. Now you don't. This is good. This is good. This is smart. She's no dummy. All right. Okay, so now he's going to explain more. That's what we're going to get to here. Okay, quick. Let's get a question in. Okay. Because this is something that we should know because of... Okay, you don't have the options to italicize or underline. That's interesting. Because underlining, back in the days when they just had typewriters, when there was no software, which I should point out, I remember, the reason that you underlined was to represent italics. In other words, you couldn't do italics with the typewriter. They just didn't have the keys. So unless you had a selectric. So in old typescripts, underlining actually means make this italic. However, the software really doesn't have underlining. That's unusual. That's weird because almost every word processing will at least have underlining. Do I include page numbers? Or the software automatically includes page numbers. So yes, the 63 is page 63. So Natasha, tell me about that. What software are you using that doesn't have italics or underlining? That one's unusual. That's less than a typewriter. Okay. I would suggest getting a different software. What kind of software are you using? Because underlining should be available. Unless it's like a trick where they're trying to say like, oh, if you pay for the supreme, bonus version, then you get things like underlines or quotation marks. Let me know which one is it that won't let you do that. Hi, Jennifer Nicole. How can I put in more active action? Yes. Okay. This is a good subject. We're going to talk about this in a bit. Let me see. I'm just going to get a little bit more on this scene, and then we're going to come back to Jennifer's question, because that is a great question, which I think a lot of people run into. Okay. Studio Binder. I can't imagine. I will look into it. If anyone else is using Studio Binder, let me know. I can't imagine that they don't have underlining. Unless it's like one of those things where they're letting you use the basic version for free, but then if you want things like underlining, you have to pay more, in which case, Google Docs will let you do that, let you underline, so you should switch. But I've heard good things about Studio Binder, so I'm guessing it's in there somewhere. All right. I want to get a bit more of the scene is because I know where it is. This is where we talk about this. Okay. So now we can take this out. Boom. This is all. All right. Yeah, but has somebody look into that, or I'll look into it. Studio Binder they should give you underlining. Okay, so here's the point. We are now getting into this Norman's past. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually leave that, but this is my picture of the scene at the moment. Is that he's let's see. What I want to get into this idea that he has never had. I think just gave up a long time ago on the idea that a relationship could not blow up. Look at that underlining. Oh yeah, I'm doing Command U. I'm not actually. I mean, they have it here, but I just do Command U because it's a habit. Okay, I think I just gave up a long time ago on the idea that because they all. Yeah, all of them. Kinda. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Kinda. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Duh. Obviously it's me. But every turns out to be a disaster area. Turns out to be a disaster area. Disaster waiting to happen. I don't know. Kinda, yeah. I don't know. I need examples. Examples. What like possessive or dishonest, possessive, dishonest, kleptomaniac. Kleptomaniac. Yeah, it's spam risk day. Okay. Every midnight turns out to be possessive or dishonest or a kleptomaniac or a bigamist or a neo-fascist or neo-fascist, hypersensitive, hypochondriac, hypoallergenic, he's got a, or just compulsive, crazy. Agoraphobic. I don't know. Promiscuous. Dishonest. Kleptomaniac. Neo-fascist. All right, let's see. got used to it, so I stopped. Just got used to it, so I stopped worrying about it. Plunge in, hang on. Plunge in, hang on. And when you can't take any more, run away. So you can't take it. You can't take it. And try to enjoy the parts that try to enjoy the parts that like a romantic comedy, horror movie. Get to the inevitable horror movie. The inevitable horror movie, yeah. Kinda, yeah, I don't know. Everyone I meet turns out to be possessive or promiscuous, dishonest, kleptomaniac, neo-fascist. Actually, hypochondriac, neo-fascist. Madeline. To a plate. So what am I? So what am I then? So what am I? Different. Damn, that's good. Okay. All right. That's a good little run there. We got some of this in there. I will have to, where is this? Outline. Yes. All right. Okay. That's not bad. All right. So now let's go back to, so you guys, you see what we've done here. Okay, never had. Sometimes there's stuff in the outline you just want to get into the thing. Okay, all of them, kind of, yeah. Okay, so he has said it. He said it right there, Glenn. You don't need to say. He feels wronged in his work, his relationships. Well, that's I'd like to keep this. I'm going to make that just a thing. Because this is going to actually come up later. All right. Okay, so you know what? We have gotten a lot of this out of the way. This is already in their notes. Okay. I think that's all right. Okay. You know what? Over time, I will get rid of them. We want to get rid of more of this outline stuff. Okay. And thus, let's talk about, okay. Okay, you guys are working that out about Studio Binder. Good. Let's talk again about this question of getting a criticism about action and passive. All right, this is really, really, really important. Passive. There's no such thing as passive action. Think about it. I mean, if it's an action, it's not passive. So that's the point. Is there isn't enough dramatic action. There isn't enough action in your scenes. So let's talk about the different ways that can show up. You can have things being passive because the characters are passive. In other words, if your main character is not taking the action of the scene. For instance, in this scene, well, this scene is sort of tough because you've got your two main characters. Somebody's got to be doing it. But in many scenes, you tend to have the main, one, can tend to have the main character not taking the main action of the scene. Like if the scene is about an argument between, Madeline showing up and the police officer asking her a lot of questions, she's just being passive. So you want to think per scene. This is a good thing to do in the outline, to ask yourself, in this scene, who is taking the main action? What is the main action of this scene? And make sure that you are not giving the main action to a secondary character and making your main character passive. Also, we often think about stories in terms of what happens to somebody. Oh, they went out, they went into the war and bad stuff happened to them. Yes, but even when you're in a war and bad stuff is happening to you, you are doing something in that moment to respond to it, to run away from it, to whatever it is, and to learn to focus the scene on what the character is doing, even if something is happening to them. But most stories is not going to be about stuff repeatedly happening to someone. It's going to be about what they're trying to do. Maybe this stuff happens while they're trying to do it, but usually that happens because of what they're doing. For instance, if they get into the war because they want to be a hero, then everything that happens to them is actually part of what they did. They put themselves in that bad position, and then they are going to keep doing things to try and deal with that. So you want to constantly be thinking in terms of your main character having something they want and taking action, which gets us, I think, back to this very important concept. Okay, who is it about? What do they want? In other words, you can't be passive if you're wanting something and you're doing something about it. Okay, if you can ask yourself these questions, you'll find yourself, because they're talking about what they want and what they do about it, you'll find it's less passive. So I would just urge you to think in terms of those 6 questions. There is, of course, a video on my this whole channel called, where is it? There it is. Yeah. So that's the first thing, is that your main character should be taking the action. Because sometimes you have a lot going on, but your main character is passive. Even if the story is about someone who is shy, they are going to be trying and failing to do things, or they are going to be figuring out ways to get around their shyness. Whatever it is, they're still not passive. So that's step 1. Step 2 is how to make things, passive action. You want to make sure that that the main character is doing something. If your scripts are full of a lot of talk, remember, dialogue should still be action. In other words, everything that somebody says in your story is in order to get someone else, the person they're talking to do something. So dialogue is action. Let's talk about this. I have a whole video on dramatic action. The whole point about dramatic action is it's not action. It's not like car chases or fights. Dramatic action means trying to do something. For instance, if you're trying to manipulate someone and you are telling them a story about how your aunt fell down a well and therefore you need help, you are taking the action of manipulating them. So that the main thing to do is to look for what is it that makes your script, the characters in scene by scene always have an outline. Think about what in the outline, what is the action of each scene. For instance, in our outline that we're working on, in this scene, she's not just making him breakfast. They are trying to connect and communicate. And so in that, there's a back and forth. He offers her some truth, which scares her away. And then he has to take an action to try and draw her back in by sort of confessing that he has bad relationships. That's an action. Try and identify the action and identify what it is that's making that action difficult. For instance, in this case, what's making the action difficult is they're a little embarrassed by what they have already done together, considering they don't know each other, and they are strangers with separate lives and have no good reason to stay together. So these have things that are trying to stop them from connecting. But the action is, I want to connect. And once you know that, it tends to make it a lot easier to make your scenes action. Jennifer, if you have other examples of what people say are passive, we can talk more specifically. Love to talk about this topic. It's really, really good. Another way to be sure you are not being passive is watch out for these words. Is, was, be, being. Okay, so if you find yourself using these words, he is this, she was that, they are being this, you are writing something whereas they're in a state. They are not in taking an action, they are being. And you want to avoid that. Try and think, okay, like he is unhappy. Well, what does he do when he is unhappy? Does he sulk? Does he rage? You look for the action whenever you've got is, was, being, are, whatever, they are sad. Well, how do we know that? She gets a drink or looks out the window and sighs loudly. Or the main thing is, what do they say? What do they do? That's how you get yourself away from passive. The big topics of passive are a character is being passive. In other words, in encounters with other people, the character is not the one taking the action in the scene. They are being acted upon. That's problem one. The other problem with passive is that in the scene itself, people are not speaking or acting in a way that is trying to affect the other person in that moment. Passive means that in this very second, something is not being done. It's just being. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to think, how can I make this about doing something? Do writers write car chases or stunt coordinators write car chases? Well, I'll tell you. What happens is, yes, it is exactly the opposite of science writing. The way that it works is the writer writes a car chase in the way that they imagine it. And the point about it is that the thing you are writing is in theory an action and character-based, story-based. In other words, in the car chase, aside from people going fast in cars, there's specifics. Is one person being more daring or more aggressive? Is one person more powerful and the other one less powerful? And so what does the less powerful one do to survive the chase? Is the chase in some way different, like it's in the rain or it's the car chase through mountains, whatever it is, you want to describe what makes it a part of the story. Okay, there has to be a reason that these people are chasing, and the way that they behave in the car chase is revealing of their mindset or their character. So the writer writes that. Then the director and the stunt coordinators get together and they say, okay, considering reality, which the writer does not know, the writer does not know what physics can and can't be done with cars, but even if they do, they don't know about the particulars of the location, etc. So you want to give them something that they can translate into their chase. Like if the whole point about this chase is that one of the people in the chase is suicidal, and so they're just like driving crazy, then that's what you want to express in the written version. They will figure out exactly how they can do that with the cars. Not your problem, not your job. You can't solve that. All you can do is say, Murray in the Volkswagen is driving crazy because he doesn't care if he dies, while Julia in the truck is trying to push him off to the side where he'll be safe. That's the point. You're trying to get, and you describe that in terms like, you know, he drives up over the ramp and flies into the air. She, you know, goes around and makes sure that he doesn't crash into the water. Whatever it is, you describe the emotional and psychological and story action of the chase as best you can. And then they will translate that in a whole new version. Okay. That's weird, because that's not passive. Roger is sprinting and Simon is chasing. Well, the only thing is you don't need follows. You know, Simon runs after him with the rest of the group. But that is not passive. So maybe they just wrote passive next to that because but there's nothing passive about that. They're running. Okay, too descriptive. How does Roger act when he hears the news? Does he run? Yeah, but yeah, that's not passive. Passive is Roger stands and doesn't do anything. There should be some meaning to Roger. Like, why is Roger sprinting ahead? What matters to them? But passive usually means that the main character is not doing something. They are like, you know, even if Roger is running into the woods because Simon is chasing him and Roger is the main character, then the question is, why is Roger being chased? Because then he's being chased. He is passive. He is letting someone else run the scene. But often that can happen for a while. You know, Simon's bigger, Simon's faster, Simon's scarier, so Roger runs ahead. But then at some point, Roger has to climb a tree and hide or something, which would then make it active because he was taking an action. Does that make sense? And Thumper, did I explain that properly? Those are the answers to those questions. And it's been an hour. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, guys, folks, people, all of you people of all types, I'm going to say so long for now, and I will see you tomorrow. Wait, flying over trout. You are entirely welcome. Great. I am really glad. It's great to see you guys. People, you folks, y'all, go write something.